Hi, I'm Donna Cook with Rabbit Creek Products, and I'm going to show you today how to make a wonderful artisan no-knead bread. People talk about having homemade yeast bread, that you have to knead it, it takes forever. This is a quick and easy 1 hour from start to beginning. First of all, you take the yeast packet that's enclosed in the box. You add 1 cup of tap water that is hot, 105 degrees. You can either measure the temperature, but usually you can just test it on your wrist to see if it's warm. You really should let the yeast, it needs to sit for at least a minute for all this yeast to dissolve, because you want it to dissolve, and then you'll notice after it starts to dissolve, there will be tiny little bubbles, and that way you know that it's working, that the yeast is active. We can see these starting to come up now on top. There's just little tiny pieces that are coming up on top in here. That's what you're going to look for. It really does need to sit for a minute, but in order to speed things up, we're just going to go ahead. Next you add the enclosed packet of flour. And we have another flavor. We have a Parm cheese flavor and we have an Italian herb. So you would add all the other packets in at that time. You stir this up, and it will start to form a ball, and then you're going to think, oh, it's not going to be enough water. What am I going to do? You just keep stirring, and before long it will start to come together in a ball. When it gets to the stage when it looks like it's a little dry, you add 1 more tablespoon of water, and I pour that kind of around the bottom. And then you stir it again, and it's in its ball, and then you are ready. So then you take the pan that you're going to use, and you can use any pan. I use a cast iron skillet, but you can use an 8-inch, 9-inch. You can also use a cookie sheet, depending on how you want your loaf to form. You pre-grease this. You take the bread, form it into a ball, place it in your pan, and I'm using the 8-inch one. You kind of form it together. It's finished. You set it to the side in a warm place and cover it for 30 minutes. Then after 30 minutes, what you do is you put it in the oven, bake it at 400 degrees, take it out, which I miraculously have another one already made. And this one I made in a larger cast iron, so it will make the loaf a little bit flatter. You bake it for 30 minutes. When you get ready to put this in the oven, you will run 3 little slash marks across it, or 2. You can tell by looking at this where I cut a little, and what that does is make it so it won't burst. It lets the steam come out, so that way it doesn't